This is Valley News Live at 10.
Welcome to Valley News Live at 10. I'm Stacy Van Dyke.
I'm Justin Betty. It has been a messy and at times dangerous day for travel all across the Red River Valley as the snow just kind of keeps coming on this first alert weather day.
It does. Despite large parts of I-94 and 29 being closed for much of the day, we've seen reports of countless crashes. In fact, check out this video from Highway Patrol. You can see a semi crashed through the gate where I-94 was closed heading eastbound near Jamestown. The stretch from there to Fargo closed around 2. This video taken around 3. And earlier today, I-94 westbound in Minnesota was closed after a crash involving more than a dozen vehicles. State Patrol says it happened around mile marker 7, a few miles east of Moorhead. That highway has since reopened.
And many of the highways in North Dakota, though, remain closed tonight, including I-94 from the west side of Fargo, the Cheyenne exit, all the way to Dickinson. I-29 is closed, the 52nd Avenue exit down to the South Dakota border. Many of the kind of side roads are closed as well. And whatever isn't closed is still in a no travel advisory. So we're encouraging people not to drive. Minnesota looking a little better tonight. Snow covered roads on the western side of the state. Better as you get to Minneapolis. But as you saw, there are still many crashes today on these roads that are looking supposedly pretty good. And of course, not everyone sees snowy roads as a problem. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie joins us now live in Fargo with more on the road conditions and why, again, some people think it's not so bad.
Justin, as far as the snow coming down and the wind goes, I would say things are starting to lighten up just a little bit here in the FM area. However, this second round that we got today, it's going to stick around for a while. I think a couple of reasons. One, after round 1, we hadn't even cleaned up that, so we're adding another round on top of that. And 2, it is a little bit of that snow that is lighter, and the wind also picked up, like Summer and Hutch had mentioned. So we've got a little bit of it more drifting out onto the roadways, which are still not looking good. I'd say the average speed out on I-94 next to me here is probably about 45 miles per hour. And in town, those roads are really coated still where the plows haven't come through. But while it's bad for driving, some people are finding a way to make it a good time. Take a listen.
These are skis, which are meant for like flattened snow trails. So actually this road is just about perfect for it. And it's been about 2 years since I've skied last. So I'm quite thankful I haven't fallen in my rear end yet.
We saw Josh when we were out here earlier this afternoon. We were just waiting in the car getting ready to go live, and we said, look, there's somebody skiing down the road. We ran and caught up with him. He said that he actually hasn't skied in 2 years, as you just heard, but that this was the best place to do it. A lot of people making fun out of this snow. We've been seeing a lot of pictures come in, kids building snowmen and stuff like that, so glad to see that people are enjoying these snow days. For now, reporting live tonight in Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Thanks, Courtney. Of course, snow is good for skiing. The heavy, wet snow we got this week, also good for making snowmen. We got lots of these viewer photos of incredible creations throughout the week.
And our storm team got in the act as well. They built a snowman outside the station yesterday. We asked you for names. We've now narrowed it down to 5 finalists. Among them, First Alert Bert, Ron Burgundy, and Winter Snowbach. Get it? Like summer Schnellbach. We'll reveal the winner, also voted on by you, at the end of this newscast.
But first, to see if this snow will ever stop and what Mother Nature has in store for us next, let's send things over to First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Justin, all seriousness aside, we do have still some pretty rough and tumble conditions. Now, there's another band of snow making its way through. It's not nearly as heavy as earlier in the day. And look at the icy roads. This snow different, though. It's not that wet cement and oatmeal like we had yesterday. This stuff really is starting to blow around, and the cold air has caused a little bit of freezing of that layer of oatmeal. And what's going on now is the snow we have is blowing around. It's a little harder to measure out there for sure. Let's take a look at some snowfall measurements. This updated a little later this evening. 7 Moorhead, 7.5 here at the studios in South Fargo measured moments ago. Earlier reports around 8 inches of plenty and 10.5 in the Kindred area. How about that one? Some lower amounts down near Nevis, but we did have Hawley at 7. How about 7.1 in McLeod, Valley City 7, Enderlin 10 inches. He got hit pretty hard yesterday. Carry the 1, add everything up. Storm totals that we've got so far, and we're adding to this in places. 13 Fargo, 14 Moorhead, 30 in Fingal, 26 in Catherine. A lot of shovel trouble out there. There's the good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel. As you said, 1 to 3 inches in these areas on top of what you just saw over the next 24 hours by Friday night. So we're going to have bands of snow continuing here and there across Minnesota. 1 inch to around 3 in pockets. Still continued excessive snow in the Devil's Lake Basin down to the James River Valley. Look at these bands setting up here right now. One over Grand Forks, one near Fargo, one right here in Nelson County stretching down towards Jamestown that's heavy. And these are going to continue into the night, and they kind of will stay in a stationary location, which means that, well, we're going to see some more snow. Factor in 40-mile-per-hour winds and visibility is near zero out in open country. Blizzard warning continues. Good news. Winter storm warning for our area has been downgraded to an advisory because of the lower snow potential here. More on your hour-by-hour forecast in just a couple of moments.
All right, thanks, Het.
And with our eventful weather, it's a good idea to keep that VNL weather app handy for forecasts right at your fingertips. Download and use it for free. Just search VNL weather in the App Store today. And all that heavy wet snow this week did lead to some power outages, especially in far southern parts of North Dakota and into South Dakota.
Emergency officials say to better prepare for days like today, always make sure you have blankets, candles, lighters, and matches ready to go. And when outages come, how long the fix takes depends on the weather and what caused the outage. If you see a downed power line or a power line that gives you concern, officials say do not go near it. Instead, report it as quickly as you can. Dealing with icing can sometimes be an easy task for crews, but other times not so much.
It can sort of feel as though you're, sloughing off what might, as I said, feel like a bit of a snow cone. At other times, it can feel like you've got a solid pipe around the line when really it is just solid ice.
Many schools and businesses have been closed since the start of the storm this week, but while some people are able to work from home, there is one crew that's trudging through the snow to get their job done: letter carriers.
Plows come and they leave these mounds on the side of the road. You got to climb over them. Yeah. Sometimes they block driveways and sidewalks, but yeah, it's definitely a struggle sometimes.
And school districts have faced some tough decisions about whether to do traditional snow days or virtual learning days. We asked you about it today. Which would you prefer? And out of more than 1,500 votes cast, a little over 900 people say they preferred the traditional snow day. About 600 chose virtual learning, so it's 61% to 39% in favor of traditional snow days. You can join the conversation in our Valley News Live Facebook page. As we close in on Christmas, a Rock County, Minnesota town has plenty to celebrate.
John Lauritsen shows us how thousands of tiny wooden statues have put Laverne on the map.
Every town celebrates Christmas in its own way. In Laverne, the signs and the nutcrackers are everywhere. But what you see on the street is only the beginning.
We just reached a goal. We have more nutcrackers in our museum than we have people in Laverne.
To be exact, there are 5,012 nutcrackers inside the Rock County History Center. More than 3,000 of them belong to 92-year-old Betty Mann, who once kept them in her house.
How did you fit these all in your home?
Well,
You were overrun by nutcracker soldiers.
I was, yes.
For Betty, it all began in 2001. She had a tough Christmas that year, so she decided to buy something that would make her happy.
This one has a lot of sentimental value to you.
Well, because it was the first one.
From there, she traveled the country, buying nutcrackers and memorabilia in nearly every state.
Does anybody ever call you a nut for collecting nutcrackers?
Yes, and I have a shirt at home that says, Crazy Nutcracker Lady.
A title she's proud of. A few years ago, the city was looking for a way to bring visitors to Laverne, and a consultant suggested that Betty's jaw-dropping collection relocate to the History Center. The move worked, and the town played along.
We've had people as far away as Florida. They come from all over. Most people are just kind of in awe.
From 7 feet to 7 inches, the nutcrackers are displayed in categories, and just when you think you've seen them all, you find more.
This little one here is made out of Legos.
There are pirates, police, Santas, and the Wizard of Oz. A little something for everyone. Many are native to Europe, where centuries ago the wooden soldiers originated.
We have 8 cabinets here that are all from Germany.
Sometimes you shut down the place, right? At night or in the evening?
Yes.
Do you ever get that impression you're being watched?
Not in the nutcracker collection, in the doll collection. That's the creepy
That's the creepy
That's the
spot of
creepy
the place.
part,
Okay.
yeah.
If there is a nutcracker that needs a home, rest assured they'll make room.
When they come in, children especially, their eyes get big and, oh my goodness, you know, they look around and they can't believe it.
We're just not going to mention those dolls.
The dolls
We don't
that are
need,
there, too. Yeah.
Nutcrackers are considered a sign of good luck. Local artists painted small versions, and they're creating even bigger ones that are about to be displayed all around Laverne.
It's a time of year when many people just show off their holiday traditions, but you've probably never seen Christmas ornaments like these. They're created by a father-daughter team out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They make evil holiday ornaments. 24-year-old Michaela Burns got the word out through a viral TikTok video. Her dad's wondering why they weren't selling many this year, and now they're swamped with them. Yeah, in a good way, or an evil way.
You saved this business. You just saved this business. You have no idea how tickled I am. Oh my God.
They say just like their zombie ornaments, sales have come back to life. If you want to purchase one, their website is horrorornaments.com. That was an evil pickle you just saw, by the way.
Once TikTok gets a hold of something,
You never know.
it's all over. Stick around. Federal committee has wrapped up their investigation of a Chinese real estate deal in Grand Forks. We'll tell you what they found.
Our wintry weather is continuing into the overnight hours. A batch of flakiness moving through Grand Forks and Fargo as we speak. It is combined with winds gusting over 40 miles per hour still. Hey, thanks, Mark, for your picture. Proof of over 2 feet of snow in the Catherine area measured here on a yardstick because a ruler just won't cut it. Winds, snow bands all night. Blizzard continues. Your forecast next.